long-standing bonds are fraying. We once championed democracy abroad. Now our nation's leader mocks the leader of Ukraine, a nation that is fighting for its sovereignty in the face of a brutal and illegal invasion by Russia. Not a single Republican member of Congress will clearly state what the world knows to be true, that Russia is the aggressor. This is an attack not only on Ukraine, but on the principles of international order.
That's right.
We want to go on. And last, I want to talk about cuts to programs that we all either benefit from directly, will benefit from, our family members benefit from, that we have paid into and we have earned. Things like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Wants to fund tax giveaways to billionaires. They want to cut $880 billion out of our health care. They want to take that out of Medicare and Medicaid.
And it better not touch my Social Security.
They better not take her Social Security, that's right. Millions of people rely on Social Security for basic income and on Medicare for critical health care needs.
That's right.
As a doctor, I know my patients need Medicare and Medicaid. We already have a problem in Florida. We didn't expand Medicaid to get people insurance. Now we're trying to take it away from the people who have it. In a state where over 20% of the population is over 65, these cuts will hurt individuals. They'll also strain families, caregivers, and the whole healthcare system. And we want to know why. We want to ask these people why. So now I would like to ask for my colleagues to come and introduce the representatives that could not be here tonight.
Did not want to come.
But don't worry, we're going to record our questions and we're going to make sure they hear from us.
Right.
So I'd like to start off with Dr. Nancy Stotts. And I believe Nancy Stotts is going to introduce our Florida senators. Yes, Dr. Stotts?
Good job. Great job. Amazing crowd. Oh my gosh. The energy here is just amazing. Thank you all for coming. I wish some media people had some guts to come and show the truth of what's happening. So, without further ado, I hope you noticed the Kool-Aid in front here. That's here. So, I'm going to start on the far left, and that's only in placement here. Rick Scott. You may call him Rick Scott, you may call him Skeletor, you may call him Voldemort. One of my favorites, Red Tie Rick. Or how about Rick Scott? I'm going to go to the professional, so I'm going to try to clean it up. Now, these are real things, okay? 1994, many of you know this, but a shocking number of people don't know this. The history of Rick Scott. In 1994, he was named CEO of a company called Columbia HCA, which is Hospital Corporation of America. In 1997, just 3 years later, the FBI, the IRS, and the Department of Health and Human Services served multiple warrants on many of his clinics and dozens of doctors. He was deposed. He resigned 8 days after that, by the way. Talk about a chicken stop. He gave chickens a bath. In 2000, at his deposition, he pled the fifth 75 times. Shame. At the end of the day, 2002, Columbia Healthcare paid $2 billion for the largest fraud settlement in U.S. history to date. $2 billion in 3 years.
He stole.
They did. He stole it. And you know, they want to find waste, fraud, and abuse. Start that. He also has a slew of other crap, which I won't give you everything. But basically, he voted against the investigation of January 6th and supported the overturning of Roe, voted against funding Ukraine and against the American Rescue Plan. I couldn't remember. Anyway,
On a scale of 1 to 10, 0. All right. Our next no-show is newly minted Senator Ashley Moody. I call her Ashley Fealty or Ashley Muddy for her muddy tongue from all the licking. Ashley was born into a wealthy family. They were all bankers, mayors, judges. She was elected Strawberry Festival Queen in 1993, and was a registered deaf until '98, and then it went downhill. So, as Attorney General, among her things, she has sought to invalidate the Affordable Care Act, oppose legalizing recreational marijuana, fought against restoring voting rights to returning citizens. Shame! She shed the CDC and the federal government. She sued them against vaccine requirements. And in 2024, she tried to disqualify a ballot measure, Amendment 4. We know all about this. We had accumulated nearly 1 million ballots. And she made a special plea to the Supreme Court to overturn it based on it being not understandable. All right, but all you need to know about her BFFs are Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, and Pam Bondi. And Governor Brown said it best. He said, and Governor Brown said, in every major battle we have had since I've been governor, Ashley Moody has been right with us every step of the way. Our next person is Pat. Okay, Pat, here you go. Thank you.
Somebody smart. But anyway, my name is Pat Wojciechowski, and I am introducing Representative John Rutherford. We have been enduring his representation for 8 years now. And I wanted to start with telling you some things that he has voted against in these 8 years. And one of the things he voted against was naming a courthouse after the first black man to serve on the Florida Supreme Court. And I just find that reprehensible. We voted against a bill to protect same-sex marriage in America. And he voted against the creation of the January 6th Commission to investigate. And this was after he was inside the Capitol when it was attacked, and he made long, voluminous statements about how vile it was and unwarranted, and then he voted against the commission. Here are some things that he is planning to vote for in this session. Keeping the Supreme Court at 9 justices. He wants no taxpayer funding for abortion at all. No federal funding for Planned Parenthood. And no federal funding for any group that opposes firearms and ammunition. Now, after all of that, I think it's really ironic. He served on the House Ethics Committee. And still does. And even though he served on that committee, he was investigated by that committee for 150 unethical secret stock trades. You know that he has never introduced not one single bill that has been passed into law. Now, I just wondered if this sounds like someone that you feel like is representing
No.
you. No. Very much. And so, we will hand this over to our next person for, is it you?
Yep.
It's the. Come on.
I'm here.
Hi, everybody. Hi. This man and I have a little grievance. I'm going to introduce to you Representative Aaron Beanhead. Now, I want to read it because I don't want to miss out on anything I have to say. Because, you know, sometimes we start talking.
Close to the mic.
Sometimes we start talking and we forget what we really supposed to say
All the time.
all the time. Hallelujah. This is a man, this is my godson, everybody. He's a man who wears a smile while standing on the wrong side of history. Bean's record is about as bright as Florida's sun when it comes to upholding the interests of the wealthy and the well-connected. If you don't have a lot of money, and if you don't know who's who, then you don't count. But it goes dark real fast. One thing he doesn't pay attention to is people who look like me. Anything that is supposed to be for the people that look like me, this man votes against it and he lets it be known.
That's right.
Thank you very much. He's voted time and again to gut health care. I'm a senior citizen. We are senior citizens in here. We want our health care. And he has the nerve to say that they want to cut Social Security. Many of us, for over 30 plus years, have put our money in Social Security. It's not an entitlement. How stupid can they be? We want to undermine education. Why are we going to cut all this money in public education and give it to some other school that does not have the interest of our children? All children. And the nerve of him to decide to take our votes away from us.
Yeah.
Like black folks don't know how to vote, and other folks don't know how to vote. So he decides, well, you all don't need to vote. So we got the news for him. People died, people fought, and people did everything they could to make sure everybody votes. We ask ourselves, who is he protecting? Who is he trying to get in office? It's not us.
No.
It's not people that look like us. It's not the Democrats. Us Democrats, he wants certain people to vote. So we have news on that. We're gonna fight.
Yes.
We're not gonna give up. We're not gonna give in. We're not gonna give out. There are single mothers all over the state of Florida, all over this country. I know, as a former city councilwoman, I know many of them could barely get a loaf of bread to feed their families. But he votes against them. And, yes, ma'am. And then child
care. They don't think we should have child care, but yet we want to make sure that our children are taken care of while we are at work.
Right.
And they lost that, right? They want to mess with our student loan. I thought I had paid out my student loan, and I'm a senior citizen, 77 years old, and I'm still paying student loan. And they have it so they'll take back the Social Security. I know, because they did it to me. And that's not fair when you think you have paid it out, and all of a sudden you get a bill saying we take an extra amount of dollars out of Social Security. I didn't think I felt. Very bad. That's right. And certainly not the black families who have been proportionately done the wrong way. I don't think the God that we serve, and some people out there have different religions, but we are all supposed to be one.
Yes.
This man right here, his politics, they play well in the whitewashed chambers,
Yes.
but they do nothing for the people that are picking up the pieces. Florida deserves better, and I be doggone, we're gonna get better.
Madam Representative.
Thank you. I'm Marianne from Constituent County. I represent Ireland for Kern County is Congressional District number 3. She won her primary in 2020 with the backing of Mr. Trump. And she's been in since 2021. Her committees are the Agriculture Committee and Energy and Commerce Committee. Her story is she was raised on a farm. She's a farm girl, so she's totally into agriculture. She started a PAC called the American Grit PAC.
Right.
Which is to help blue-collar conservative Republicans get into office. And when I looked at, what's it called? It's a website you look at. Most of her donations came from agribusiness, finance, insurance, and real estate, and ideological single-issue individuals. She is anti-choice. She's a forced murder. In 2023, 2024, her contributor was the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. And that's all I know about her. So, thank you.
We're gonna ask her some questions. And thank you everybody for introducing our absent representatives. I'm gonna start calling up speakers, but before I do that, I want to give a couple of tips for how we're gonna make this work. I want as many of you to be able to speak as possible, so we're gonna enforce at 90 seconds. I'm gonna start asking, and I'm gonna kind of start nudging. At 2 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and ask you to go ahead and step back so we can get the next speaker in. I'm gonna get the first 3 lined up, and then as the next person is finished, I'll call up the next speaker, and they're gonna keep a line of 3. We want to keep this focused on what the problem is that's impacting you personally and what we can do about it. Do we need our representatives to vote in a different way?
Yes.
Do we need them to lead in a different way? Do we need them to stand up to what's happening right now? So we need to ask them for specific things. Now, I also want to say that this is a group here that's going to be a mixed crowd. We've got people from all sides of the political aisle here, and all are welcome. We're all here because we're standing together against the threat to our country and our democracy that this presidency has already established on us, and it hasn't even been 6 months. So whether you are a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, an Independent, Green Party, some other party, you're forming your own, you're welcome here so long as we stand together against the Trump presidency robbing the working class to give all of our money and benefits to billionaires. And so we are going to be sending these questions and your questions in the back. We are going to be sending them to the representatives. I know you have strong feelings. I have strong feelings. We'll try to keep it reasonably civil in here, as if they were sitting here and we were asking these questions so that we can send them on. With that, let me get started calling on my first three speakers. I have Katie Chorback, I have Chris Farlow as number 2, and Monica Alvarez as number 3. So if I could get Katie up first, followed by Chris and then Monica, line it up, and then we'll get this going. And if you could please speak into the mic, it will help us to be sure that this is live streamed. All right, Katie, take it away.
My name is Katie Torback. I'm a combat vet. I have a Purple Heart. I run an activist group around the country of veterans. We're organizing nationwide right now, veteran-led protests. I have 3 very specific asks. 1, sexual assault prevention is stopped in the military due to DEI. 8 out of 10 women veterans are raped during their service. I am one. We need to fix that today, tomorrow. There's 96,000 deported veterans as of last year. We have a study on it. Multiple Purple Heart recipients and Silver Star recipients. Bring them home. Reinstitute care for transgender veterans and our VAs. 4 transgender veterans this week shot themselves in the parking lot. Fix it tomorrow.
Fix it now. Marlene Lennon, go ahead and line up. Marlene Lennon. Chris, take it away.
So I have concerns over ICE going to schools and taking kids and deporting them. How does that impact the kids that are there and those that are being deported? Children in schools can't really freely talk to counselors, and counselors are a bare minimum in schools. So the trauma for both sides of these kids is a lot to handle. That's 1. 2, all the funding that supports children of need for lunches and foods in schools, that's being cut. How are we going to help these children that really rely desperately on the foods that are given to them by the schools? And if you're getting rid of the Department of Education, how are we going to help the special needs children? And we have many. And that needs to be fixed. We need to ask all our children for those kids to take care of them. No child left behind.
Fix it. Get Pat from Beaches Activists in Duval Dams. Pat, if you could go ahead and line up. Monica.
Hi, my name is Monica. I'd like to talk about Elon Musk and Doge.
It's yours.
He is a very dangerous man and a threat to our democracy. What he is doing with his cronies is causing a lot of essential cuts to Medicaid, to education, to Social Security, etc. And he is dangerous to our democracy. Our representatives need to check what power Trump has erroneously given to him so that he cannot just do whatever he wants. Our planes are falling out of the sky because of the jobs he's chosen to get rid of, and he is causing too much trouble, and he's making life in America so much more dangerous for us.
Looking for Pat. Pat, you didn't put your last name, but you're pat.gmitter@gmail.com. Followed by Tessie Bond. Marlene, take it away.
I'm Marlene Lennon. I'm 90 years old. I've been in Social Security since I was 14, and I didn't retire until I was 71. I want my representatives to keep Social Security safe. I know there's a lot of us in here, but there's also a lot of people coming up in the next few years will collect Social Security, and you are supposed to be working for us.
Yeah, that's right.
Marlene said, save Social Security. Save Social Security. Save Social Security. Save Social Security. All right, we're gonna go to Pat, but first we're gonna get Nancy Levine. Nancy, you can get in line. Pat, take it away.
Hello, everything they said, but also I'm here to represent the national parks, and this is. And this is specifically for you, Representative John Rutherford. I'd like to know what you're doing to represent your national park. We have a national park right here in Jacksonville, Duval County. It's 46,000 acres large, the Timaquan Historical and Ecological Preserve. And, there you go. And since Doge came into business, they cut, I don't know how this is efficient, but we already had a very understaffed but efficient employees at the park here at Timaquan, but we went from 45 employees about 10 years ago to 27 employees. But after Valentine's Day massacre, they cut that one third. So we had visitors from all over the county, from all over the state, from all over the country, from all over the world, come to the gates and only find the gates closed because we don't have enough staff to keep our parks open. We had to cut programs to the schools. We had to cut lots of things. So
Save our parks.
save our parks.
All right, before we hear from Tessie, if I can get Ted, Conroy Center Will, up front and center. All right, Miss Tessie, take it away.
I have just one question. I want to know when they're going to be able to stand up for the Constitution. I also would like to help our union get rid of employees that are not necessary. There are 218 of them.
If I could get Elizabeth Stroud to line up, then we'll hear from Miss Nancy.
Hi, I'm Nancy Levine from Precinct 6, District 5, Jacksonville. Thank you, everybody, for coming to my birthday party. My birthday wish is to tell Representative John Rutherford a few home truths. I called his secretary to complain about, well, a lot of things. And I asked him if he was coming to our town hall. She said, he no longer comes to town hall. He used to, but he doesn't do it anymore. I thought to myself, that is a lie. He has never been to any town hall. And I've been here since 1985. So why? My first question is, why won't you come and talk to us? Now, I did get a chance to talk to him in 2022 during COVID pandemic. 4 of us went and said lots of things to him. And at the end of our 25 minutes, I figured, what the hell? I'm leaving anyway. I might as well say the offensive thing I'm thinking. So I asked him, have you had a COVID shot? He bristled and he said, no, that's none of your business. And I said, Well, in that case, would you stand up in public and warn people that they need to wear masks and take precautions like taking their COVID shots? He said, I'm not an expert. That has nothing to do with me. I'm 80. I'm looking at my friends, family, people I care about, everyone in this room. And every day I think, what's going to happen if there is another pandemic? What's going to happen to me and my friends? Because if you get sick, I'm going to get sick.
So Nancy wants to know from Representative Rutherford how he's going to keep us all safe and healthy.
That's right.
Christopher Tibbs, up in the middle. Christopher Tibbs. And then Ted, take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm in the same district that Nancy is in, so we're in good shape, I think. My question has to do with Medicaid. We seem to have missed that somehow. Maybe it has something to do with the way Governor DeSantis has simply said, oh, we don't need to use any of the Medicaid funds that we should have gotten. But we didn't get them, of course.
Same.
This is something that's not new, but I think we should go back to that again and give it another shot and see if maybe, just maybe, they might be able to do something about it before another 4 years goes by or whatever. So I think it's very important to do this and not just to forget about it.
So we should be expanding Medicaid,
Yes.
not cutting Medicaid.
Yeah. I think all these people should be here to see just what a turnout we've got, and they really need to pay attention.
So they should be here to listen to their constituents and do their job.
Do their job.
Thank you, Ted. Wonderful, thank you, thank you. If I could get Michael Kirsten up on deck, and then we're going to hear from Elizabeth.
Thank you. I would like to speak to U.S. Congressman John Rutherford. You recently went on Facebook and you said that DOJ is doing wonderful work and that the only issue is that liberals are twisting the facts. My question is, if you really believe that, why would you call the cops to forcibly escort Republican voters away from your office instead of being willing to face them when they themselves, as Republicans and conservatives, were concerned about DOJ? I have this on camera. I have this on footage. If anyone would like to see the footage, if any news stations would like to air it, let me know and I will give it to you. I have the cop saying, and I quote, "No one in this office wants to talk to you. That is why they called us, so that we would escort you off the premises so they would not have to talk to you." This was outside of U.S. Congressman John Rutherford's office, which is paid for by our tax dollars. And yes, there were Democrats and Republicans there. Thank you.
We all care about a government that works for us. We want to end fraud, waste, and abuse. Not a single one of us is for these things, and they have not shown a single penny of actual fraud, waste, and abuse being uncovered by DOJ. Instead, they are destroying our government. So whether you are Republican or Democrat or anything in between or on either extreme, we should all care about this, and I really appreciate you for saying that. Thank you. All right, before I hear from Mr. Christopher, if I could get Monica Gold up here, and then Christopher, take it away.
I really don't have a question. Just one point. I'm disabled because of lack of safety at my job that I used to work full time. My life has been cut short. I've been fighting to get SSDI since January of 23, and I am not going to get paid until August of this year. And this BS is going on. And At the same time, I don't know how God's name I'm gonna pay my bills. I fight and liquidate my assets so I can pay my bills to survive. I am not some person that is trying to reap from the government. I am a hard-working person. I've been working since I was 15. And you bureaucrats have the nerve to say that people that are asking for Social Security are a bunch of fraudsters. My mother, she lives in Illinois. She has dementia. My family has to liquidate their assets because of the cuts in Medicaid and a possibility of her getting thrown out of the nursing home.
So we should be improving Social Security to take care of our seniors and to take care of folks who have become disabled.
Shame on you. We're gonna fight you and we're gonna fire you and all of you should rot in hell.
If I can get Sherry Jacoby up in the line, and then we're gonna hear from Michael.
Hi, my name is Michael Kirsten, District 4, from Fernandina Beach. Aaron Bean, rather than meeting with your constituents, you suck up to unelected billionaires like Elon Musk.
Shame.
You need to stop the efforts in dismantling our federal government and firing of dedicated civil servants. Stop Musk and the administration from breaking Social Security Administration, which will cost seniors their Social Security and Medicare. And bring back funding to Ukraine. Allow Ukraine to finish this before we have to send our kids over.
Right. At the moment. Only here's these questions. Before we hear from Monica, if I could get Les Andretta to come and get on deck, and then Monica.
Hi, my name is Monica Goldman. I'm with the Jacksonville Community Action Committee, and I've expressed that all of these folks up here, or not up here, have done absolutely nothing for police accountability in the state of Florida. They have created barriers for civilian review boards. They've created barriers for ballot initiatives to bring about civilian review boards. They have upheld the Law Enforcement Officer Bill of Rights, which essentially gives law enforcement officers extra due process that regular civilians do not have, making it additionally challenging for victims and families of victims to actually get justice for the loss of their loved ones. Locally, there's Jamie Johnson, Reginald Boston, Kwame Jones, Leah Baker, all working in the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and they have not received justice. Their family has not received justice, and that is in part to the Law Enforcement Officer Bill of Rights. All the while, these local police forces are tightening their partnership with ICE, threatening to separate families and tear apart loved ones. And so shame on these folks for doing absolutely nothing about it.
I need Jennifer Hanahan up on deck. Sherry.
Thank you. My name is Sherry Jacoby, St. Augustine, Florida. My representative is AWOL Representative John Rutherford. Full disclosure, I am here of my own volition today. I was not driven. I am the driver. Brought two friends, and the only check I'm hoping to receive is my Social Security check. We the people We the people are shocked, are uncertain, are saddened, are fearful. And increasingly, we the people are pissed off. For those of us who didn't vote for the Trump-Vance-Musk regime, it's not as much as a shock to see how quickly you and others have fallen in line and are now willing to do their bidding, regardless of how it may affect veterans, senior citizens, people with serious health issues or special needs, not to mention our children and future voters. Well, for those of an increasingly authoritarian president. Yes, I've said it, and I believe it.
Go, girl.
Yes, you have taken an oath to the Constitution of the United States.
It says, do your jobs. Do your jobs. Do your jobs.
Now,
Do your
you
jobs.
have a choice. My question to you, will you choose the Constitution or the Sharpie pen? I hope you make the right choice.
If I can get Cat Hole up on deck. Cat?
Let's.
My name is Les Andretta, and I just want to give you a little personal history, and then I will bring it to your attention why. I am 80 years old. I was raised in the Lower East Side of New York City.
All right.
My friends were black. They were Puerto Rican. They were Chinese.
All right.
They were Jewish. They were Catholic. They were Protestant. They were a mix. We were DEI before you put an age on it. My son's godfather was Puerto Rican. He was one of my best friends. In middle age, he told me that he was gay, and he was worried it would affect us. Till the day he died, he has been my friend. Whoa. And will always be my friend. DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. You people all oppose it. That tells me you're not in favor of diversity. Nope. Okay? You are in favor of uniformity. Everybody should be the same. You're not in favor of equity, so therefore you're in favor of inequity, which is inequality, anti-fairness. And the last thing, you're not in favor of inclusion. You're in favor of exclusion. Again, keep out those who are different. When you look around you, these are your people.
Yes.
And it's about time you recognize that. My time is limited. I want to bring something to your attention and to the attention of these people that has not been mentioned. Donald Trump has said he wants to make tips tax-free. Very generous of him. Allow all those lower income people who live off the tips. I'll give you the other side of the coin. Our Supreme Court has decided that if you receive bribery, money, or any other things after you do a job, it is not bribery. It is a tip. It is a gratuity. So now you have Clarence Thomas saying, please pass that law so I can declare all these things I'm getting as tips and tax-free income. Beware what they're doing and where it's coming from. I want to know from you, if you write the law, will you write yourselves out of it?
We are standing against corruption. We are standing against the taking of our tax money and giving it to billionaires. Right? Thank you, Les.
Those says they're in favor of efficiency. Well, let me explain something to you. Government is a service to the people. It is everybody getting together and telling everybody else out there, you're entitled to the same benefits, the same services as everybody else. So if you live out in the country, why should you have to drive 200 miles to a social security office that I can drive 10 minutes to? When you look at efficiency, remember, government is not a business.
That's right.
It is a service for the people.
Great. And I get Emily Ferguson on deck. Emily Ferguson. Thank you, Jennifer.
My name is Jennifer Hennigan. I'm a veteran and I'm a widow.
Thank you.
I'm one of those ones in the military that was raised. Believe me, there are very few women that come out of the military without sexual trauma. I have contacted Rick Scott, I've contacted Ashley Moody, and I've contacted Aaron Bean about this. There is a very insidious act that's going through Congress right now called the SAVE Act.
Yeah.
And if it passes, I could lose my right to vote. I was willing to put my life on the line for my country, but I could lose my right to vote because I chose to keep my husband's name. I'm a widow. My husband's gone. I wanted to keep his name in his honor. But I could lose my right to vote because of it. And they say there's protections in there. There is absolutely nothing in there that protects married women. Nothing. It's up to the states. And how much do you think the state of Florida is going to want us to vote?
Right.
We're in this room right now. So I am asking Rick Scott and I'm asking Ashley Moody to stand against the SAVE Act. I can't ask Aaron Bean because the House has already passed it. So I'm asking them to please reject it. Please do not vote for the SAVE Act. Please let it die.
She's pretty quiet, but we're asking them to stop the SAVE Act and protect our right to vote. Again, Suzanne Barker. Suzanne Barker on deck. Kat.
I'm here as a marine scientist, and I'm here to speak out on behalf of NOAA.
1 second.
Yeah. You'll get your time back.
There we go.
I'm here as a marine scientist. I'm here to speak on behalf of NOAA, or the National Oceanic and Atmospheric For those of you who don't know, which seems to include a lot of representatives that I've reached out to, Floridians rely every day on data from NOAA. During hurricane seasons, like hurricane hunters that provide information about storms both far away from and close to our coast so we can prepare. Thanks to these hardworking scientists, Floridians have free access to storm models that allow us to prepare. Furthermore, data collected by NOAA plays a critical role managing our marine resources that our economy relies on, making sure that our recreational and commercial fisheries can continue into the future. And I want to make clear, this data that's collected and shared by NOAA can be duplicated by
Every mic issues.
Okay, so it's not perfect. Okay. You can't be replicated like any private agency. When you open your weather app on your phone, that's coming from NOAA. That data is coming from NOAA. What did the representatives plan when a hurricane barrels toward the coast of Florida and there wasn't time to prepare because we didn't know where it was going? What is the plan when unforecasted red tide devastates our fisheries or further pushes tourists away from our beaches? Congress must continue to fund NOAA and stand up for the scientists working every day to gather and distribute critical data. There's no future for the state of Florida without the vital work that NOAA scientists perform.
Stand up for the scientists. right, I get Susan McCullough on deck. Emily.
That's great.
First off, I just want to say, as an educated, white, cis, hetero woman, I will probably be okay, but having empathy, respect, and caring for my fellow Americans doesn't make me weak or say I have a woke mind virus.
Right.
This administration is not pro-life. They are pro-fetus, okay?
Right.
It's not about the right to life. It's about perpetuating a cycle of oppression on women, low-income families, and minorities. Because I have a question for you. If you're pro-life, why are you going to cut Medicaid? 31% of the births in this country are funded by Medicaid. And if you're pro-life, why are you going to cut the Department of Education?
Head Start programs. Yeah. We're gonna finish you up, then we'll replace the bat. Okay.
If you're pro-life, why not fund programs for SNAP benefits, WIC, free school lunches? If you're pro-life, why not work to improve the foster care system, or better yet, adopt children from it? If you're pro-life, why not prosecute parents who knowingly let their children die from measles? If you're pro-life, why separate children from their parents without a safety net and put them in a cage? And the reason is, I don't think you guys are pro-life.
No, they're not.
They're really anti-choice, anti-science, anti-women, pro-birth and pro-elimination of the middle class in favor of billionaire sycophants to let them keep their unearned power.
All right, can I get Aria McKenna on deck? Are we ready with the mic? Hearts are falling up. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna hand you mine.
Okay. All right. Just to bring it home to our representative Rutherford, I know that because of what Doge has been doing, that our own Jacksonville International Airport is not as safe as it had been. And it's not because we don't have as many air traffic controllers, it's because they don't have support staff. And so we have delays. So, and the Jacksonville International Airport is going to lose a lot of money. Okay, so you got to fix that, you know? You just can't be not caring about us. The other thing is TRICARE, that we have military families. This was on the news recently. Military families who have not been getting their benefits, that payments have not been made to where they go and get their medical assistance. So payments have not been made. So I want to know, rather than just, you said that you wrote a letter to a organization, some department, why didn't you go and talk to those people? Why don't you do something about those military families that aren't getting their support? Do something now.
All right, so before I get Susan on deck, we get Wendy Levinson. Wendy Levinson on deck. All right, we think the rubber bands are gonna hold us down.
Thank you, thank you. Susan McCullough. I am a medical librarian, so full disclosure. I would love to know how many people in this room have or still work in the healthcare field. Yeah. What I'd like to know is, what have you done after all you did to destroy it, to support the National Institutes of Health? Right. They support so much research and clinical trials and so forth. And the National Library of Medicine, I have to get that in because it was a really important part of my career.
but it's really important to those people who need to use the databases like PubMed, which are evidence-based and give full, true, accurate information. The staff at the National Library of Medicine is supplemented by other regional libraries and our library at the University of Florida Health Science Center, for example. And I think these people probably don't even know it exists. They probably think their staff does that research if they know how to use it. The other thing that's happening regarding libraries is funding for interlibrary loan is being cut, and that takes care of your needs when your local library doesn't have it. So it sounds like a simple fix, a simple question, but I would just like to know, where do these people get their information? And do they use the resources that are available? And do they support them?
We want to save the library. And educated populace will vote, will stand up, will ask tough questions. If we're not educated, we can't hold our representatives accountable, because trust that they are educated and their children are educated. They want to take that away from the rest of us.
That's right. That's right.
If I could get Gail Kirsten on deck, and then we're going to hear from Aria.
Okay, hi, I'm Aria, and I'm a native Floridian, and as a young child, one of the things that I really noticed is how we were polluting our rivers and our streams. And right now, I work with climate scientists around the world who have been donating their time to trying to solve this issue. And we are ground zero to sea level rise and the climate crisis in the United States, and yet our representatives are doing absolutely nothing to solve it. And in fact, they are doing everything to double down on the problem that is affecting all of us. And I just want to say that these scientists are donating their time. They are not profiting off of it. But fossil fuel companies and greedy politicians are profiting off of this climate crisis that is affecting all of us. This past year, we had $200 billion of damage. Insurance rates are skyrocketing, and insurers are leaving the states. The climate crisis is devastating to food prices, the economy, to health, and to the safety of all of us, and especially to our children.
That's right.
So our representatives are basically sacrificing our entire state when they deny the climate crisis and back Trump's fascist climate denying agenda. Okay, I would really love to know when our representatives are going to stand up and represent Florida over these greedy fossil fuel agenda and double down. I just want to add one more thing, is that right now we have a mechanism. The 14th Amendment says that Donald Trump is disqualified from serving office.
We're at the 5-minute warning. I've got probably more cards than I'm going to get through in 5 minutes. We're going to get Chad Charland, and then Rod Sharp, you're next. Wendy.
I'm Wendy Levinson, and I live in St. Augustine. I've been in Florida for 20 years, came from New York State. I love it down here, but I'm very disconcerted at what's happening in the entire country. And my biggest thing is, and I want to know what my senators and representatives are going to do about Citizens United, which I believe is at the root of all of and also what are you going to do about the immunity that they've given to the president? No accountability. We need to stop this. What are you going to do to stop it?
No peace here! No peace here! No peace here! No peace here! All right, if I can get Gail.
Donald Trump. Impeach Donald Trump.
There we go. All right, Gail, Chad, and Rod.
Hi, I'm Gail Kirsten from Fernandina Beach, District 4.
I have a bone to pick with Representative Bean. You wear a mask of fiscal responsibility, while at the same time proudly serve as chair for Doge Caucus. District 4, 119 Congress.
That's right.
We, your constituents, elected you into office to fight for our values, to fight for our district, and to fight for all of our freedoms. Instead, you've cowered under the committee you head, allowing and promoting the children of Doge to infiltrate our personal information and threaten our livelihood. There are cuts being made to the Department of Veterans Affairs, cuts to Social Security, cuts to programs supporting our disadvantaged. Where does it stop? Your recent recess from Congress found you at the local Jacksonville hospital, holding an unannounced town hall with the employees. Should you have not scheduled the town hall with us, your constituents? In not doing so speaks volumes. You have stated your commitment to protecting Social Security. However, we have not seen any such thing. In fact, your lack of response prompted a protest. And your only response was to call your constituents out, saying we are trying to scare people. As we watch the degradation of our Social Security amongst other programs, sir, your actions speak louder than your words. Mr. Bean, 2026 is coming fast. Our frustrations with you will be reflected at the midterms. As you have proven, you are not for the people.
So we can get it on time. We've got Chad and Rod. Chad, take it away.
My name is Chad Charlotte. I'm also from Fernandina Beach, and that happens to be where Aaron Bean lives as well. And aside from the damage he's doing in Washington, Aaron Bean wants Rainier to be allowed to poison Amelia Island's air, water, and people with a toxic chemical bioethanol plant for its corporate profits, despite overwhelming opposition amongst residents. He's in Washington so much of the time, I guess he doesn't care if there's hazardous waste being released into the air and ocean of his so-called hometown.
Save Amelia Island.
He voted against H.R. 2560, Sea Turtle Rescue Assistance and Rehabilitation Act of 2023. He hates sea turtles. He'd rather give that money to support insurrectionists and billionaires. He voted against H.R. 886, Save Our Seas 2.0 Amendments Act. For someone who grew up and lives at the beach, he sure hates the ocean. The League of Conservation Voters has given him a lifetime 1% score when it comes to voting on conservation and environmental issues. If you love the beach and the ocean and the dunes and the live oaks and the gopher tortoise and the right whales and the beautiful nature we have hanging on by a thread in Northeast Florida, Aaron Bean hates you too. He votes against your interests. He votes in favor of polluting industries and billionaires. He's voted against cleaner cars numerous times, against clean energy research, in favor of fracking, in favor of mining on public lands, against large government contractors having to report their emissions, against endangered species protections, many times against energy efficient standards for appliances. He is a tried and true eco-villain, an enemy of nature, at war with nature like his Lord Trump and Musk, who want no regulations placed on industry so they can poison all of us for their profits. As a Florida legislator in 2016, he voted to approve a bill that allows members of the clergy to refuse to perform gay marriages. He also voted for the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, a bill terrorizing non-heterosexual kids in Florida schools. He voted to make voter registration more difficult in Florida, voted to restrict vote by mail. He is staunchly anti-voting rights. He only wants rich, white people to vote, preferably heterosexual men. That's his idea of America. White nationalism, anti-gay, pro-billionaire, pro-industry. He's called criminal investigations into Donald Trump, all of which have proven to be true, a witch hunt. Aaron B. is a bad guy, a villain, a creep, bought and paid for by the grooming industry and war with nature, governing by cruelty and lockstep with Trump and the unelected child President Elon Musk.
All right, Ron, you're gonna tell us how.
All of them, all. 2025. Hallelujah.
I didn't know I was going to be last. Much more in-depth. I'm going to take those small history lessons. In 1979, didn't invite me to my day. Just raise your hand if you knew who I was. In 1978, did you know who I was? In 1977, did you know who I was? Yeah. 78, 79. Okay, I'm Cold Warrior. And what that meant in this particular instance, I was what they called an emergency actions controller. I launched bombers from a base in Blytheville, Arkansas to go and destroy towns, cities in the Soviet Union. Yeah, that's a big job. Now remember, I was 18 to 20 doing that job. But more importantly, remember the word emergency? This is going to be key to this conversation. So I did my job. I did 8 years in the military. I got out and I went and decided I was going to take my education benefits in 1984.
Thank you for your service.
And thank you very much. And in 1985, I learned the words Graham Rutherford. Oh. Okay, so what did Graham Rutherford do?
Too much.
Exactly. They took away all of the benefits for education for veterans. They took away all the cost of living for retired veterans. And they did it with the swipe of a pen. With the president who made ketchup a vegetable. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. The only thing I want to know from these people that are standing here sitting or did not show up tonight is what is the name of the bill that you're going to sign that protects Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid? I'm not interested in what you're not going to do. I'm interested in what you are going to do.
Protect Social Security, protect Medicare.
So, in all of this, you have to remember that if they're willing to do that in 1985, or 85, you have to also remember in 1985 and 1986, the Congress and the Senate gave themselves a raise. Good job, right?
Same. So what I'm
Don't let it happen to us. Make them do their job.
Make them do their job.
Build a bill that protects us.
There you go. Sign the bill. It's going to protect Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Question?
Card in that no one says my name.
Yes, we're out of time for more cards. There's a few cards that didn't get, we didn't have time for it, so sorry.
So,
but we'll turn, you can turn it in at the back, or we can write your.
already turned it in.
Can you speak? It won't take but a second.
Okay, give us a second. Other people up here also didn't get to speak, so.
Okay, thank you. My name is Nancy Frazier, and I represent a group of 10 demographic names. That's some of them here. So when I have a few things to say, and then a couple of questions. First of all, stop the wrecking ball that is Trump and Musk. For me, after us are coming after veterans, They're coming after seniors, of which I'm one. They're coming after our children. They're coming after all citizens through NOAA, FEMA, climate change that they deny, cancer research, research into future epidemics. You are supposed to protect us, not to police us. My questions are you cutting your staffs? Are you cutting your salaries?
All right, so I want to close things up because we're out of time for questions. If you have questions we didn't get to, please turn them in the back so that we can get them to the representatives. We know a lot of people didn't get to speak tonight, but we've got to wrap it up. I just want to say a couple quick things. The seats up here are empty, but this movement is not empty. This movement is full. This movement is full of working people who demand answers, full of young people and older people who refuse to accept business as usual, full of voters who are tired of being ignored, and come election day, we'll make sure that every single absent representative gets the message loud and clear. If you won't show up for us, we won't show up for you. I'm here tonight. What else can I do? Who's activated? Who's motivated? Who is doing stuff? We are the movement. Look left, look right, look behind you, look under your seat. We are the movement and we are a community. We have a number of organizations who are here tonight who would welcome you. And I also want to have my friend Tina here tell you about a quick action that you can take part in.
Did anyone go to the Tesla rally at the Tesla showroom?
Oh, yeah.
115 people there. That's not enough. We can do better than that. There is a clipboard going around. If you put your name and your email, I will let you know when the date and time will be, and I hope you can join us to make it huge. Because you're not stealing your money, the billionaires.
Yes. Sign up for the Tesla takedown. I want to also remind you that all the organizations that help us put this together tonight would love for you to get involved. Pick one, pick two. You do not have to sign up for every one of them, but all of them would welcome you. So again, that's Beaches Activist Movement, Indivisible Mandarin, Indivisible Riverside Jacks, Indivisible St. John's, Indivisible Southside, the Women's Collective, Moms Rising, Northside Coalition, Duval Dems. We're all here. We want you to come and take part, join the community, because we are showing up, we're lifting each other up, we're fighting for everyone in our community. None of us should be left behind. However, remember, this is a marathon and not a sprint. All right. If there was one single action we could all take that would make this nightmare go away, it would already be over with. Right? We got to hold each other up. We got to build power for the long haul. So I would say pick one or two issues that really speak to you and commit deeply. Maybe that's reproductive health care. Maybe that's education. Maybe it's access to Medicare and Medicaid, climate, voting justice, veterans' rights. Your sustained effort will matter. So get involved. We have the power. We are not alone.
No, we are not.
We will stand together and fight this fight. Thank you, Carol.
Moody asked me, and I will bring this for not including a slide on that. You see, you can all call. He's having a phone down flood the phone lines. But we have another National Day of Action coming up, April 5th. And our partners at 5051 have organized a great rally at the Duval County Courthouse. So look for information about that, April 5th, and come out.
You got 11 o'clock at the courthouse on April 5th. Thank you, everybody. Get home safe. Have a good night.